To the cloud. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Sorry, the game finished a little earlier than I'd thought it was going to. I hope you had a good time playing. We're going to go over four of the lesson hands that we were out of the 12 that you just played. I'm going to put into chat, I'll put a PDF of the four lesson hands that we're going to cover. Okay, the topic for this session is going to be on covering honors with honors. Unlike Tuesday's lessons, which are when you need to split honors or not, there are some fairly easy rules that if you follow them, it'll be correct almost all of the time. So I'm going to go over a few of those rules, give you some examples of when it's the wrong thing to do, to some of the exceptions to the rules that I'm about to present. But in general, when you're covering an honor on defense, the theory is you're trying to promote cards in either your hand or your partner's hand. Basically, if they lead the queen from dummy, you cover with the king, and then they cover your king with the ace, then the jack will become the next highest card. So if your partner has the jack, you've promoted the jack. That's the general theory. We'll get on with some examples. The first one was board number 1. This one actually had 2 examples of whether to cover or whether not to cover. Let's go through an auction. And it should start with 2 passes. And South has an ugly 15 points. It's 4 triple 3. I don't like that, but it's still 15 points. So we open a no trump. And it goes pass. North has 10 points. That's enough to get the game. Let's check to see if we have a 4-4 spade fit before we go to 3 no trump. And indeed, we do have a 4-4 spade fit. So North can just bid 4 spades. That was about it from the auction. Pretty simple one, I would hope. And the opening lead is pretty clear cut. King of Hearts is the nice normal lead. 5. We try to give attitude on partner's lead, although there's an exception in the later hand. And so South can count some winners and count losers in a suit contract. 1 spade loser, maybe none. 1 heart loser, definitely. 1 club loser, definitely. 1 diamond loser, maybe none. We're almost certainly going to need the king of diamonds on side, and we're going to need a little more than that. So we've got a loser in each suit, but the defense might screw up. So let's see what happens. King of Hearts, we might as well win the ace. So first question, declare leads the queen of spades, or even the jack of spades. Should we cover this or not? Well, if we don't cover it, then the king of spades is going to fall on the next trick. And then the declare will have no spade loser. So this is one that you need to cover the queen or the jack of spades lead from declarer here. There we go, get back there. It's not to protect your 7 of spades. It's to protect the cards that you hope your partner is going to hold in spades. You can't see them, but you hope the partner has the 10 of spades, or even better, like on this hand, has the 10 and the 8, and they can cover over the 9. So this is one where we do want to cover an honor with an honor. Even though you can't see the jack of spades, you can probably assume declare has it, because they wouldn't have played the queen of spades without the jack behind it. But we're still trying to protect the 10. So this one we cover in honor. Now we hope the 10 of spades drops, but it doesn't. Now we've got some work to do. We know we have a spade. Now I'm switching to declare. Declare knows they're definitely losing a spade, definitely losing heart, and definitely losing a club. They need to test whether clubs are 3-3 as well. So let's duck a club first. And let's have the defense cash a heart. And for our, do something safe, they'll come back a club or a heart. So we rough a heart and dummy. We probably should have covered the 10 of hearts, but that's okay. Um, Now this is the other one that's a rule that is almost always right. You want to cover the last honor. With declarers leading from two consecutive honors, and you know this, you frequently want to cover the last honor. So on this holding, when they lead the Queen of Diamonds, this is one you don't want to cover the Queen. The reason is that you set up a finesse position against your partner's 10. If you play the Queen of Diamonds and it goes King A7 or 8, sorry, I hit the 8, but same thing. Now they can finesse against your partner's 10. That's bad. You want to cover the last of touching honors if you're going to cover. So on this one, once they played the Queen of Diamonds from dummy, you had to duck that. Now declarer can't play another diamond without setting up a high one. If they play the jack, you cover that, and now partner's 10 of diamonds is good. If they didn't play the jack, they just played the 9. Now they either run the 9 and your partner wins the 10, or they play the ace and you can win the king. So those are the basic rules of covering honors with honors. You do it to protect your partner's cards or your cards. You're trying to set up a trick there. If you can see that they have two consecutive honors, unless you're very short in the suit, you usually want to cover the last of the consecutive honors that they play. Um, and some of you might be saying, "Well, yeah, but you didn't do that on in spades on this particular hand." That was because you had short honors in short spades. You couldn't. Excuse me. Let me get back to all the way back there. You couldn't afford to let the Queen of Spades run because your King of Spades was going to fall on the next trick. If you had King Third of Spades, uh, you shouldn't cover the Queen because you're just going to finesse against any cards in your partner's hand. So those are the sort of rules that if you go by these three guidelines, you'll get through most of these problem situations, whether to cover or not. Only cover the last of consecutive honors unless you're short in partner's suit, is short in the suit that they're leading. If you do that, you're going to be home free on most hands. This one, the defense had to successfully cover one time when they led the spade honor, and they had to successfully not cover one time when they led one of the high honors from dummy in diamonds. They got that. They can beat this contract one. Um, Declare could make it double dummy, but it's on a line that's far too advanced. Um, so the defense just needs to concentrate on promoting cards when they can, but not trying to let your honors fall on air. Um, we'll do it that way. All right, that was the basic one for that one. Now let's go on and keep going. Not that one. Good Lord, board 2 was fun. This was one. Okay. This was another one. Well, when do you cover and when do you not? Sometimes the auction helps you work out what your partner's holding in a suit is. That'll help you decide whether to cover or not. So on board 4, I was suggesting the auction goes one spade by West, pass. Now East has an interesting sort of hand. It's 11 high card points, but it can sort of evaluate up to 12 or 13 high card points. Call it 11 plus 1 for the Doubleton heart plus another 1 or 2 for the fifth spade. You certainly want to get to game opposite a 1 spade opening bid, excuse me. But you don't want to bid four spades right away. That describes a far weaker hand than this one. You're going to get to game anyway. But what you want to do is, if you don't have something that's a forcing raise, like Jacoby 2-no trump, you want to make what is called a temporizing bid. You're going to do something to say, I've got some points here. Then the next round you'll go in and say, I've also got a whole bunch of good spade support. So if you can't have a bid that says a power raise to four spades, start off with two clubs is what I'd suggest. It's your most natural bid outside of spades. South passes, West rebids two spades. Most people that chose six, it might be on five if you can't bid no trump and can't bid anything else. Pass. Anyway, East completes their picture by raising to four spades. It doesn't say you've got five spades, but at least you've said, I've got some spade support. I've got enough points to get to game. If it's a hand that belongs in slam, now West has a decent chance of bidding it if it does belong in slam. Whereas if it went one spade, four spades, and that you actually belonged in six, West would never play East for that strong a hand. So this is what you do with hands. You make a sidestep bid on the way to bidding four spades to show that you're getting to game on power rather than just getting to game on a whole bunch of weak trumps. Trumps and a weak hand, rather. So, however, four spades should end the auction. And opening lead is sort of tough. Nothing's very attractive. Although they don't have a long club suit in dummy on this hand, they very well might. So I try to sort of be a little bit aggressive here. And if you've decided to lead a red suit, it's definitely better to lead a heart instead of a diamond. You need your partner to hold the ace or queen of hearts, but you've got to start setting up your tricks in the red suit before they go after you in the black suits. So I suggested the three of hearts as an opening lead. And now we count losers as declare. One spade loser, maybe zero. Certainly, this is a good chance for no spade losers. But let's count it as one. We start out being pessimistic. One spade loser, one heart loser, one club loser or not, depending on whether the club king is on side or you can get them to lead a club. And certainly one diamond loser. But you can sort of see that eventually the diamond loser might go away on the queen jack of clubs if good things happen, even if the club finesse is off. So we've got good chances on this. But the trick one should go part heart. Uh, as a partner of the opening leader, and this applies later in the hand as well, you should play the lower of touching honors. And I'll sort of show you why that's relevant. If you play the jack of hearts and they win the ace, North now knows you have the queen of hearts because Declare would have won the queen if they had it, unless for some reason Declare is being very tricky. But you play the lower of honors so that partner knows that you have the higher honor when Declare doesn't win it. If you played the queen of hearts, just like you would if you were on opening lead, now when they win the ace, partner doesn't know who has the jack. So the rule of thumb when you're playing third hand, play the lower of touching honors. It helps a partner gauge where the relevant honors are. So, Jack of Hearts at trick one, Declare wins the ace, and Declare plays the Queen of Spades. Do we cover this or not? Now, with 11 cards in a suit, missing the king, the percentage play is to play to the ace. It's a little more likely that they're 1-1 rather than they're 2-0. But it's actually really close. I think it's like 52-48 in favor of playing the ace. But you might as well play the Queen of Spades because if they have King X and they cover, you're home free. Should North cover on this? No, but how does North know not to cover? Well, the auction said Declara has five or six spades. So partner has at most one spade. You're not if you cover this, you're not going to promote anything in your partner's hand. If partner has a void, or if partner has any singleton, it's going to fall under the ace if it goes queen, king, ace. So you have to play low here. Not only do you have to play low, you have to play low in tempo. The problem is if you take 40 seconds and then you decide, oh, you work out um, that no, it's wrong to cover, but you've taken so long that the declarer can tell that you have king X. So it's a tricky one. You have to not only not cover, you have to not cover in tempo. But let's say you managed to do that. You didn't cover the queen of spades here, and declare missed guessed. Okay, so that's that one. You now have a spade loser. Here's the other one. And this was similar to hand number one. When they play the queen of clubs, South has to not cover this honor. The reason in this case isn't that you're protecting cards in partner's hand. It's that you're setting up a third quick club trick for declare. If you cover the king of clubs, cover the queen of clubs with the king, declare can win the ace, cash the 10, and then get to dummy with the ace of diamonds and sorry, and cash the jack of clubs, pitching a loser. They've taken 3 club tricks. That's if you cover the first round of clubs. So you don't want to do that. You want to, sorry, almost there. You want to duck the first round of clubs. You can cover the second round if you'd like. That's not going to set up a long trick for Declare. Declare won't have played the Jack of Clubs the next round with this holding, but it's okay to cover the second round. So this is the other reason why you tend not to cover the first of the 2 touching honors when they lead the suit, is that if Declare has a missing honor and it's short, they might take one more trick in the suit than that to which they're entitled. Oof, that was ugly grammar. Um, so there's two. Again, this is another one where there's 2 do I cover or not situations. North has to not cover the queen of spades and ideally do it with the same tempo that they would if they had a singleton one. Um, And if they do that, there's a decent chance that West is going to guess the spades wrong and North will get a spade trick. If they cover the spade, they're certainly not going to get a spade trick. And the other one is the East, when East plays the queen or jack of clubs from dummy the first time, South shouldn't cover that because it'll give East West 3 club tricks and they're only entitled to 2. Having said all of that, if they get everything right, Declare should still make 4 spades. But these kinds of things will save the over trick, especially in match points, pair games. Over tricks can be very, very important. When most of the people are going to be in 4 spades on this hand, and the difference between making 4 and making 5 is going to be the difference between an average minus board and an average plus board from each side. So that's a case. This is a case where the auction might guide you whether or not to cover when you have a short honor. If partner's short enough that they can't have any promotable cards, don't cover because you're not going to be helping partner and you're not going to be helping yourself. Tough one, this one. All right, let's go on to the next one. The next one, our dreaded board number 8, I think. Yes, 8. Okay. All right. 8 was a sort of tough one, and there was another part. Okay. So the auction should be pretty quick. 1 no trump by North. Excuse me. 1 no trump by North. East has a nice hand, but they have no 5-card suit. And South just has 12 points and no interest in a major, so they just bid 3 no trump. So opening lead, we're certainly going to lead a heart. The normal lead is the King of Hearts. Um, there's a expert treatment that if you have specifically King, Queen, 10, 9, maybe King, Queen, 10, 5th, there's an expert treatment that you lead the Queen from that holding. And the reason for that is you're trying to make sure that declarer can't hold up when they have a doubleton jack. Pretend the heart suit was the other way around and the dummy had ace third and declarer had jack X. You want to have some system where you want to be able to pinpoint the declarer has jack X, that it'll fall under the king. This lead is designed to do that. So, and this is just against no trump. If your partner leads the queen against no trump, it's either from a queen jack 10 or a queen jack 9 lead, or it could be from king queen 10 9. When they hopefully the auction and the cards in dummy will help their partner decide what the lead is if they need to know. But when the Queen of Hearts is led, the responsibility of the partner on the opening leader, normally it's to give attitude, to say whether I like it or whether I don't like it. When they lead the queen specifically, you turn into what's called a robot. You either have the Jack of Hearts and you drop the Jack of Hearts, no matter how long in how many hearts you have. If you have Jack X or Jack third or Jack fourth, you drop the Jack under the Queen because your partner has the King, Queen, 10, 9. So you'll be able to work at, declare won't be able to fool you by holding up. If you don't have the Jack of Hearts, give count. That'll prevent declare successfully ducking and letting them win the Jack of Hearts when they shouldn't. So an expert treatment is to lead the Queen of Hearts from this holding. If you don't have that and you led the King of Hearts, it's okay because dummy has the Jack X, so you're gonna do the same thing. And if you everything will be the same if you led the King of Hearts. But certain Queen of Hearts is a nice lead on that holding. So Queen of Hearts, we show our count card. And we eventually knock out the ace. So declare has 4 spade tricks. They've taken the 1 heart trick. That's 5. They may or may not take a club trick for 6. But let's try to get as many diamond tricks as we can. We know we're going to have to set up at least 1. So this is one where declare leads the 10 of diamonds. Now that looks like they might have the 9 behind it. If they have the 9, they're probably going to finesse it. So let's start out by playing low on the 10. Well, if they run this, it doesn't matter who has the 9. They're going to finesse the jack on the next round and take 4 diamond tricks. And that'll give them 9 tricks. So this is one where you can't see who has the 9 of diamonds. But when declarer plays the 10 of diamonds, you have to cover that when you have 4. That's to protect, slowly it's to protect your 8 of diamonds, but you're hoping that your partner has the 9, and then your 8 will set up as the high card on the 4th round of the suit. It's sort of a tricky one, but it's essentially covering an honor with an honor. You'd want to do it from queen third. You'd want to do it from, certainly want to do it from queen X. You're protecting from partners card that you can't see, but that you hope they have. If you play the 10 of diamonds and it goes queen, now declare has 8 tricks, but they should be able to, that should be it. Declare should only take 4 spades, 1 heart, and 3 diamonds. The defense should be able to get their 4th round of hearts, their ace of clubs, and either the 8 of diamonds or the queen of clubs. Declare they should be able to defeat this contract once. One, declare can make this double dummy. I'll sort of show you how, but there's no way declare should really get this right. If they go like this, they play Just because they know the double dummy analysis is a popular feature, it'll say that it can make. So as declare runs spades, East can't pitch a diamond because they have three diamonds left and dummy has three diamonds left. They can't pitch their heart, so they have to pitch a club. And so excuse me. And the same thing on the next round of spades. And now if declare is psychic enough to play a club here, they can take 9 tricks. They'll cash. They can cash the 10 of hearts, but then declare will take the last 3 tricks with the king jack of diamonds and the king of clubs. That's very, very double dummy. As a practical matter, it would be wrong to do this if West had the ace of clubs, which is far more likely. But the important part of this one was you had to cover the 10 of diamonds. This sort of follows the general rule. It's that you cover an honor with an honor if the honor that they're leading is by itself, and you may be protecting cards either in your hand or your partner's hand. Sometimes this will take away a guess from declarer, but it'll prevent them taking a trick that they're 100% not entitled to. In this case, if you didn't cover the 10 of diamonds when declarer led it, declarer can take 4 diamond tricks. If you do cover it, they should only take 3 diamond tricks. All right. So there's that one. Sorry, just taking. Okay. Sorry, I didn't post that. Okay. One more hand. And then I'll be happy to go over any of the other hands that you'd like. This one? This was not one. I think it was 11. Yeah. All right. 11 was sort of a tricky one. It was just the other reason where you might want to cover an honor or not. Uh, Auction goes. Oops. South opens a no trump. They have 15. Pass, pass. So a lot of people play different systems here. I'm just going to give you the auction as if East West just played natural overcalls. If you play something like Capoletti, it's not going to go that differently. But for argument's sake, let's just have it go 2 spades by East. Pass. West has a really good hand with when partners bid 2 spades. With 2 aces and a king, even though they've opened a no trump, there's still a chance at game here. So I like 3 spades. It's not a blocking kind of bid. It is an invitation to try and get to 4 spades. It's not that dangerous. So 3 spades pass. And East is surprised to hear 3 spades by partner, but they have 13 points. They have a singleton. They have a 6th spade. I think it's worth 4 spades. One of the advantages is when they've opened a strong no trump, you can place all of the high cards everywhere. That's going to help you playing the contract. So and that should end the auction. South has to be careful not to make a double of 4 spades just because, oh, hey, I've got 15 points. They can't make game. Don't double just on points. Points don't take tricks. High cards take tricks. Trumps take tricks. Points don't take tricks for the most part. So if East West managed to get to 4 spades, that's great. They're going to make a whole bunch of spades. So, but let's go on with the play. South should lead the ace of clubs. And North gives an attitude signal here, so plays the 4, but South doesn't care. They're just going to continue with the club. So good news for declarer. You've got no spade losers. You've got 1 heart loser. You know you can rough the other one in dummy, so that's okay. You've lost the 1 club that you're going to lose, and that's it. And you have no diamond loser. Now, can you do anything to... So you're going to make at least 5. Can you do anything to make 6? Well, you do know that South has the king of hearts. And you know that you know that you have no diamond loser, but the defense doesn't know that. They're not looking at the king, queen, X of diamonds in there. So what I was suggesting doing is trying what's called the Chinese finesse. I'm really not sure of the origins of this term, but it's always been called this. It's pretending that you're taking a finesse when you're really not. Remember, the west hand is dummy, so they can't do any. They can't see the east cards. They can't see what's behind. If east leads the queen of hearts here, this is a difficult situation. Um, on this hand, it's right to cover the queen of hearts, and that's because you're going to promote the jack in partner's hand. Um, you don't know who has the jack of hearts. But it's really odd that declares led the Queen of Hearts without the Jack. On this hand, they know they can do that because they can place the King of Hearts on the auction, and they know it can't be singleton because then North wouldn't have passed a no trump. They'd have a 6 or 7 hearts. So covering the Queen of Hearts is right here, but it would be the wrong play if Declara had Queen Jack 10 of Hearts and weaker diamonds. Then covering the Queen of Hearts would set up the Jack and 10. This is a tough situation. Again, the rules say that you probably shouldn't split here. Probably shouldn't cover the Queen of Hearts. So it's a way that a very tricky declarer can take advantage of defenders following the rules that work in most cases to steal a trick that they otherwise wouldn't have gotten. It's called a Chinese finesse. It's sort of odd. Here, if Declare managed to lead the Queen of Hearts and South was persuaded not to cover, they've stolen that there's no more heart loser, and Declare will actually make 6. On the auction, if East West got to 4 spades after South opened a no trump, very well done for them. Uh, it's tricky when they've opened a strong no trump to start thinking about whether we have game or not. Most of the time, you're just in there to sort of maybe win the part score, maybe interfere with their auction, but you do well to get through the get to a game knowing what you're doing when they've opened a no trump. You can play whatever system you like, but it's always tricky. All right. Okay, guys, those were our 4 lesson hands. Thank you for attending it. I'll repost the PDF just in case somebody came in late.
Hi, Mike.
Yes,
Would you mind going over the bidding on number 6?
sure thing.
Thank
I've
you.
just got to reload the table.
Sure.
Just give me 1 second, but it doesn't take
Sure.
too long. Okay. Okay. Number 6.
Yes, number 6. Thank you.
The tank. Oh, please don't. I went by it. I hope it doesn't. No. Sorry. Give me one. Okay. Okay, now be careful not to go back this time. Okay. I haven't seen this before, so I'm gonna go over it quick. I am all right. So East starts the bidding. They have 18 points. Nice 18, but certainly should start with 1 spade. South says pass. It looks like North South are just out of this auction. Uh, West has 12 points. It's a really good 12 points. I think it's enough to. It's certainly if you're playing standard American, this is enough for 2 diamonds. Even if you're playing the 2 diamonds as a game forcing bid, I think it's worth that. You would have opened the bidding if you were West, so that's enough to make a game forcing bid. Either way, you bid two diamonds, pass. East has a very good hand here. I think it's a good idea, as long as you're comfortable that you're in a forcing auction, to keep it as low as possible until you find a fit, and um, you you can start expressing extra values. But if you bid three hearts over two diamonds on hands like these, it chews up a lot of room um, when to express the extra values when you need that room to worry about stoppers and fits. So the first question is, should East rebid either they shouldn't bypass a four card heart suit. So they either are going to rebid two hearts or three hearts. I don't like three hearts because partner's going to be stuck on some hands. They can't, if three no is right, if they don't have a major suit fit and they don't have a club stopper, they can't bid three no over three hearts. So I think two hearts is the right call here because find your fit first as long as we're still in forcing situation. And two diamonds promised a rebid, so we're okay there. Pass. Let's presume you're playing standard American. So we bid either way, four hearts. Oh, great. I've got an opening bid. I've got four card support because two cards only promised four. Um, now, now East knows they've got a very good hand because you've got the ace of clubs and the ace of diamonds. The aces are very, very valuable when you start thinking about slam. They're not only a trick, they control the suit. The defense is going to have to work to set up a trick in that suit if they're defending against a slam. So this is 18, probably even add one for the Doubleton Club. The spade suit is so good that's going to be a great source of pitches. I think East is justified in just driving to slam over this. Uh, if you play some Roman keycard Blackwood, you can find out about the Queen of Hearts as well. But let's say you don't play, you just play nice regular Blackwood. I'll go through both auctions. One ace, and I think, as again, I think East just has to drive to slam here. Um, that would be a standard one. Uh, sorry, let's go back. Other possible things. I think East has to. I think this should be the start of the auction. Certainly a spade, two diamonds, two hearts, four hearts. Other option is East can bid five clubs as a Q bid. It shows the first round control of clubs. It's almost certainly the ace. Because you didn't bid four spades, it denies the ace of spades. And it says, I'm interested in going to slam. Now West has to do a little bit of judgment. They can't Q bid five diamonds because they don't have the ace of diamonds. But they should be so enamored of the ace of spades that they'll bid five spades to say I've got the ace of spades. Now you sort of, well, I've got the ace of diamonds. What do you think? Well, I don't, my hearts aren't quite good enough. That's a Q bidding auction that might get to six hearts. Uh, if you happen to play Roman key card Blackwood, which a lot of people play nowadays, you can be a little more comfortable bidding for it. So for no, the basics of Roman key card Blackwood is once you've agreed a trump suit, you count the four aces and the king of the agreed trump suit are the five aces. And then we can say whether we've got those or not. We describe not only aces but also the king of trumps because that's about the same for trick taking possibilities. Pass. On this hand, five hearts says I've got two key cards, which are the ace of spades and the king of hearts. And it also says I don't have the queen of hearts. Five spades would say I have two key cards and the queen of hearts. So armed with this, now West knows a lot more. They know they're off the queen of hearts, so it's very unlikely that seven hearts is the right spot. Um, seven spades actually I guess seven spades makes? Yeah, seven spades makes, but that's tough. I think if East West got to six hearts, that's the right spot. Um,
7, no trump makes as
Seven no
well,
trumps makes because diamonds are 3-3.
but how do you get there?
You
Yeah.
don't you have to look in their hands. If you could ask the opponents if diamonds are 3-3, and then if they tell you, I know seven no makes on this hand, but that's only because diamonds are 3-3. If North had king third of clubs and jack 10 fourth of diamonds, six hearts or six hearts would be the limit of the hand. So seven no does make, but you don't want to be there. It's just because the diamonds break so magically. If East West got to six hearts, they're doing well. If they got to six hearts and started thinking about more, but then stayed there, they're doing well. Sometimes makeable slams are ones that you should be bidding. This I think is one of them. But one of the points that I would make on this, I don't think East should jump on the first round just because they have extra values. After a 2/1 response, um, don't jump unless you're really sure about fits or you're really sure how you want to describe your hand. East has too many questions that they want on this hand. They should just start with two hearts. Don't know if that's any help, but that's how I'd be bidding this hand.
Thank you so much. That was very helpful.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you for the whole
Thank you very
lesson.
much, folks. I hope you enjoy that one. And we will be holding these next Tuesday and Thursday. Same bat time, same bat station. We hope to see you there. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.